Alright, we're going to make this a pretty simple video. This is a long video, so I suggest clicking off since there's not going to be much stuff I'll be showing on screen. It's more just about talking. Let's get on to the video. So I have three big issues I have with Loomian Legacy in general, and I'm going to go over them. I really do enjoy the game. It's one of my better games I enjoy playing. It's just there's some stuff that they can do to make it hell of a lot better. Make it from like a... Ooh, that's a secret ability. I'll just take that for a second. Something like just make it, like, take it to the next level. So the first thing is route linearity. So routes are too linear. Let's keep it simple. So route 1 works fine because it's the beginner route. Same as route 3. Those are pretty much just straight shots. But here, route 6. Enter through there. You literally just walk. Boom. You're already at the gate just over there after a short walk. Route 7, exact same thing, except you have one... I mean, I know you have the rally ranch over there, but Route 7, same exact thing. So it's just a split off to the Separate Junkyard, which is one of the, I guess, the better routes. But you have, what, Route 4 is the same thing, just a straight shot, except this time you take a hook to the right, and then there's an up piece where you can get boost tokens. Yippee, boost tokens. I mean, it's pretty useful, but ultimately it's not much. Route 7, again, you can take down there, it's a straight shot there, you can go here, it's a straight shot. And you need, yeah, you can stop by there, but again, that's not really like much of like an adventure to find. It doesn't feel like a proper adventure, it feels more just like a, like you're just like walking through and you're not having, again, a proper adventure. Like Pokemon, especially like the early Pokemon, like Pokemon Silver, even though the lines are pretty straight due to the limitations of the Game Boy, there was a whole bunch of different like areas you had to go. You had to like push boulders and ice paths. You had to like slide across ice again on the ice path. You had to cut trees. You had to do all this stuff just to get to certain areas to find new Pokemon and stuff, which is pretty fun. I mean, hell, there's one route which is literally just a straight shot, but there's like 3 different ways you can go with like dead ends and like different spots we can go down. Which really changes how it feels and makes it feel a lot more like an adventure. And this is a game from, what, 2000, I think it was when it was released, 2000 or 2001. So Pokemon Silver, obviously, is quite a dated game made for the Game Boy Color, so it definitely doesn't have as much data as this. And they're able to make, like, a straight shot feel like such a large world. It really does feel like a huge world. I think the best route Loomian Legacy has is Route 8, not because it's the newest, so I feel... because it's the newest, also probably has some bias since the devs probably spent more time on it. But that's just because it's so unlinear. Well, it's linear ultimately, but it's a lot more unlinear. So you come down here, you already got a path you can take to the right. You can catch some Loomians. Again, a little bit off to the left. Down there, you have the little dock area where you can like stare off. There's some, like, I guess, more interesting NPC dialogue. I won't read them. I want you guys to read them. Or you can wait till I release a special video that I held back a while because I wasn't happy with it. But you come down here and you have this like nice little village. You have the submarine mini game. You have Bob's Pond. You have the capture this guy. It's a nice little like city area. And then you come down here. Now you finally reach the route. And I know this is obviously huge for a route. You can't do this for every single route, but it's like they could have just moved the capture this guy to say the what's it called? The little village, Kanelko Village. That's like a dwarven, like, I don't know if they're actually dwarves, but they're more like a dwarven type of people. So they can have a blacksmith building that like a mushroom blacksmith vibe, like a traditional like elder dwarf you'd seen like traditional like movies and stuff. And he can like make the capture disc for you, and that makes Route 4 useful because only thing you get from Route 4 is burn gels. And let's be honest, most people don't need burn gels. You don't really use them, so it's like you can just go to Route 4. Capture your Pokédex, and these things are capture disc. These things are very helpful. They increase your chances of capturing a Loomian of a certain type, which we do have a guide video on that one if you want to check that out. But it's just something small that makes Route 4 useful. It makes the world feel much more alive, and that rolls me on to my second point. The world doesn't feel necessarily alive. If you go over to Sephirite City, there's like 2 restaurants. Sorry, I have a cold, but like 2 restaurants. You just talk to them and then that's it. You go to the sushi stick to buy a meal to get the guards sick, but that's about it. Like, imagine if you can just come up to the sushi stick, right? And I know the devs can't work on this all the time, but maybe they could get like a secondary dev who just works on small stuff like this. You can talk to him, you can buy a meal, a small cutscene plays, you and Loomian eating it, and let's say it gets like 5 happiness points. This is assuming happiness works on like, once you reach 200 happiness points, your Loomian's max happiness, you lose 1 when it like dies in battle, that kind of stuff. You get like 5 happiness points. You can do that like once a day for an entire meal. Or you can come here, it's cheaper, you get maybe like 2. Or in Sylvan City, there's another one and maybe you get only like one, but it's the cheapest because it's in the beginner area. Also in Sylvan City, which I'll probably actually TP there. There's like a yeah, there's like a music album area where she's talked about she'll get like rubber and raps or dripple, I think it's like dripple drips or something like that. And it's just like small stuff like that. Like you can buy, imagine if they opened it to an actual like CD store. I'm gonna play her dialogue if you want to read it. But like imagine if you can actually go to the store and buy like battle themes, and if you're in the Coliseum, it'll prioritize your battle theme over say the default one, and like both players hear it. Imagine how much Robux some people will spend just to get like a new battle theme. And that's pretty much just as simple as adding a sound ID. Well, you'll probably have to add more stuff to be able to get it on top. Like how the prioritize system works. But it's a relatively easy, according to my very limited coding knowledge, to be able to do that. And they can charge Robux for that because people will spend Robux and it costs more money to produce music. Here's the other restaurant guy I was talking about. Yeah, it's just small stuff like that makes world feel much more alive. Like the battle theater, imagine how much more alive it would look if there was like scooters lined up against the wall. Because I mean, how people, not everybody's just gonna be walking. Like having this van badge sitting here makes it feel a lot more alive. Imagine there's scooters lining up against the wall, like a mini bike rack, say here with like a bicycle or two. Because not everybody's gonna be driving, for sure. There's gonna be maybe like a bicycle rack there. Maybe there's like a stop walk. Sorry. Maybe there's like a stop walk crosser thing here that says like stop, don't go. And all you have to do for the script for that is very, very simple. You just put like decal ID this, wait 5 seconds, decal ID this. That's not exactly how it is. You have to convert it to Lua, but it's like it's a 3-line script I've done before a while ago. I have to recheck to brush up on it. But it's just something very small, and it's just maybe every like 30 seconds it'll just change to like stop. Even that would just make the world feel a lot more alive, and something like that. Like you come over here and you hear like the humming of the trucks and stuff, I think, but you don't really hear it out here, even though it's like a highway just literally right there. And it's like you would ideally hear like, or you see those towers right there, you should be able to hear like honking of cars even over here, but they don't do that. And it's just small stuff like that that builds an atmosphere. Again, for Kanoko Village, which is just down here on Route 4, imagine if they had the capture disc maker down there in like his own like dwarven house, right? Like blacksmith house. Imagine how cool that'd be just to have like a blacksmith house there, right? And it's just you're going to like this blacksmith place in this dwarven village to create capture discs. It makes it feel like more like an adventure, and it makes it feel a lot more alive. And there's plenty of stuff they can do this across the world. Like Kawaii Village, they can probably throw down. Actually, they have a lot of the Sakura petals. So I think Sakura Village, or not Sakura, sorry, Hawaii Village. This is Kanoko Village, by the way. They can throw down like hell, they can throw down a village, or not a village, sorry, a blacksmith building like right there, or like right inside here. Literally, they could do like one right inside the rock, right there, right there for like the capture disc. But like Hawaii Village, I think does it really well. They have Sakura petals, they have the statues and stuff. Like Sephiroth City, they can have like broken cyber gear on the ground, or they can have again the scooters I mentioned. They can just reuse the models. They can have like a tipped over like trash can or something like that, which I know they have some dumpsters everywhere. It's just small stuff like that that makes the world feel much more alive. And I think the later the game gets, the better it does. Like you can definitely see, compared to Sylvan City, you've got all this stuff here that makes it feel a hell of a lot more alive, which I think really also they do this one pretty decent too. I mean, there's still some small stuff they can do, like maybe they put a bike rack here, maybe they put like they have a bike rack here actually, maybe they just throw a bike here, maybe they just toss like a scooter against the wall or something, which really, it's a lot more early game than late game stuff. So I think they should go back to like Sylvan City and just make these small changes to make it feel a lot more alive. And it's like, again, for a really industrial city like this, maybe throw in some construction sounds when you're near this video, or not this video, sorry, when you're near this area. Throw in like maybe like a grilling sound effect when you're near here, or like when you're near this apartment building, you hear like chatter of people. It doesn't have to be words, it can just be like general chatter, like a lunch room sound effect, where they're just like blabbering around, all that kind of stuff. It just makes it feel a lot more alive in that area, and it really improves it. I do think that, again, they're improving the further they're getting along, but they need to fix the early game routes to really bring in these new players and like tell them that this is something extra, something special. But it's another game thing that they've definitely improved on, but I think they can improve on. Another small thing they can do is, like Pokemon and Me, like you can just go into like a small cutscene, which is definitely a lot harder to implement, and you can like pet around with your Dusket, like mine, or you can buy like a bunch of accessories, and I don't know, I can put a top hat on my dusket, right? And I don't know, it costs Lumi coins, or it costs like for more expensive stuff like Robux. And people spend money to make their Lumians look a lot better, and it's something that ultimately I think could be a good cost of return, can make the game feel more alive since all like the Lumians are a lot different than each other. Like I said, imagine like a Trumbo with like a what are them called, like the tiny hats that you've seen like cartoons and stuff, like the tiny bowler hats and stuff. It just makes it feel a lot more alive, and really just like improves the world. So my final point is just PvP in general. The battle call scene, PvP, the system works fine, but PvP itself gets boring. You don't get enough CP for how much it costs for PvP items. But then again, CP is so cheap, you can spend $1 on the Roblox mobile app and pretty much have most of the PvP items you'll need for your team. Just converting that into CP. But they can do, if they add competitive, right? They can easily, or not easily. When I say easily, I definitely don't mean easily. It's obviously a lot more behind the scenes, but it's because I don't have anything to say to fill in that word. But they can have it towards, you can show off your like your elo rank. You'd be like, hey, look, I have 5,000 elo. You have 4,950. Let's fight. And that way, people can fight against people who are actually their own skill level. And two, it can really make PvP a lot more, I guess, noticeable, because you'll see like they put like a world leaderboard, like the top 100 players, CP or elo wise. It can really like rank out like the PvP, and there'll be a lot more of a community behind PvP. It makes them feel more united. It prospers, or it becomes more prosperity. There's more of a reason to play. Another thing is, you go in here, there's open gap. Maybe they can do like events, like mini events. So maybe there's like in Sun and Moon, how there's that little like WWE thing with 4 contestants. Maybe they cycle that in and out. Maybe they do like a mini like randomizer, and that just pops up like once a month. They change it or something. That'd be fun if they are able to do that. I know they should be working on the main game, but it's just small stuff like that makes it feel more fun. A randomizer battle they should definitely include, though. I do think that'll be a really fun thing. Maybe like they're all set to a certain level, or they have a level like maybe level 70 to 100, and you can get literally anything. I think that could be really fun to get, and it'd be very fun to battle too. And it's just small stuff like that that really improves the game. Like I said, adding elo really improves the competitive experience, because now you have something to fight for. You have a reason to fight. You want to protect your elo, you want to gain elo, and you want to brag about your elo. And another small thing they can do is, in original PBB, or Pokemon Brick Bronze, up here the mastery level, they had the Pokedex, how many Pokedex entries you had. So what if they added elo, right? And you can come over to like your ID or like your settings, you can change what you want to show off. So maybe you show off your mastery level because it's maxed out, or maybe you show off your Lumipedia because it's maxed out, or maybe you show off your elo because you have such a high elo. And it's just something that's small that you can like flex. And also build friends around, because if I see like a dude who has like high elo and I have a high elo, I'd be like, hey dude, what kind of strats do you use? I notice you have a high elo. I want to, like, maybe you should compare strats and see and see like what works, and we can like battle each other and see, and you develop friendships with that. And sometimes it'll just fizzle out, right? That's how friendships are. But sometimes maybe you'll add each other on Discord. Maybe like you become a lot more, I guess, personal friends, even if it's just something online, right? Discord, right? You can't really have real friends on it, but you can definitely develop, I guess, more real friendships just off something as small as elo, or like mastery. Maybe, I mean, mastery not as much so, because pretty much anybody can grind out the mastery real quickly. But like the Lumipedia, maybe if you have it maxed out, you can be like to another guy, like, hey, look, you really like collecting Lumians. You have the entire Lumipedia filled out. Like, what are like your hunting strategies? Like, what do you do? What is your favorite capture? That kind of stuff. And you can become friends with other people who like collecting stuff, which, speaking of which, if you like collecting stuff, come join our Discord, primarily collecting, a tiny bit PvP, mostly me though, since not a lot of people do PvP in my server. But, yeah, definitely come check it out. It's a pretty fun community when we're active, which is about, we get like, pretty active sometimes, most of the time actually, which I'm surprised about being a smaller server. But it's just like small stuff like that where you develop more, I guess, real friendships, and it makes the game so much better because you have like a more like real reason to go behind it, towards like whether it's improving your elo rank, which is why games like Clash Royale do so well. Fundamentally, it's a basic game, but because there's a ranking system, it's literally like programming your brain to keep increasing your competitive rank, your elo, or your trophy count just become better and better. And I feel with Loomian Legacy being a lot more like complex than Clash Royale, you can develop real friendships around this, which entices you to play more because you want to play with your friend even more, and there's just a reason to keep coming back to the game, which is obviously something. It's good for the devs because more people are playing longer, and I think that's why they should honestly go back to and fix like Sylvan City and fix all these smaller cities with more detail to bring in these players early game and get them to stick playing. Because I notice a lot of these guys, I don't see them ever come back. Towards I notice a lot more cyber medals and new medals, and a lot of them, like I said, I don't see come back, and a lot of them don't come back. We only maintain about 3K players at a time, which is quite a bit, but a lot of other Roblox games are much larger, and I think just small stuff like that, even if it brings in an extra 300 players, just because they have friends or they want to raise, and I know competitive will bring a lot more players, because there's a reason to actually competitively play. You got your elo rank, again, you develop friendships, maybe a Discord server will have like a gym battle system towards us, like you beat certain gym leaders in the server, and then you can like battle, become the champion of the server or something, and that kind of fun stuff, which really brings, I mean, the thing to the next level, which I really like the way Loomian Legacy is heading. I know it's been like a year since the last development or last update, but I really do hope that it's a great update, because it's looking promising with how Route 8 is. Route 7 is kind of disappointing, but it still has some linearity, being the homeless camp under the bridge, the junkyard, Mudagon. Kind of lazy, but it still works. Sephiroth City being really detailed, Hawaii Village being really detailed, Rally Ranch having the excuse of having, well, Rally Ranch there, though it's pretty bland. Again, this area is packed full of stuff. But yeah, like, just adding simple stuff like Elo, or you can show off like your Lumapedia up here on the top right. You can change your mastery to like Lumapedia, or you can change your Lumapedia to like Elo, just so you can like, even in like pub servers, you can easily just be like, oh, you have high elo, well, what's your strategies? Let's talk it out, let's battle. And something small they can do too, I click on here, what if they do like show off everything? It's like trainer level, elo, everything, or they can have a thing towards like, you can put Loomians you have for trade, or Loomians you want to show off just on your trainer card. All you really have to do is just add the decal. You just put in what Loomians you want in there. It's just a decal. And you can just show off what you want to show off without having to go to your box and having to carry the team around you all the time. Small stuff like that makes the world feel so much more alive. And that's why I feel the development studio is going the right way. I feel they just need to speed it up, which I know isn't as easy. It's easier said than done. But small stuff like this that really makes it feel better. Like, what if there's an NPC who wanted to trade for, like, he can give me, like, Agape or something, and I'll give him, I don't know, a Skilava or something. Or I'll probably do a route exclusive at this point, being how far pretty much everyone is into the game. But it's like, maybe you can get, like, an exclusive Loomian, you can go ahead and you rally it and all that kind of stuff, just by trading, I don't know, like a Skilava or like an Igneel. I believe they have that in Pokemon Brick Bronze. So they should be able to basically just rip the assets from it if they still have Pokemon Brick Bronze Archive, which I don't know why they wouldn't. I would be using as much assets as I could to speed up development time, if they're worthy enough, of course. And just small stuff like that could really improve the game. And I do really like the way they're going with this. I hope they continue this way. Let's just hope they do continue this way, because it's a lot better, but it still could do some improving. Like, once we get, like, why don't they just rush out sailing, right? You can capture or run into, like, maybe, like, some new Loomians you can only get by sailing, enter these new caves. Maybe for the caves, it can be a dungeon. You go inside the dungeon, like, maybe they can just, like, I know this will take some time, but map out 30 dungeons, right? And then you enter, like, a dungeon, and you fight for loot. You get items. Maybe you get, like, a PvP item. Maybe you get, like, some exclusive items, exclusive capture discs. Maybe you can run exclusive Loomians or something like that. And at the end, you fight the boss, and you get maybe, like, a shard. You can maybe battle only, like, one a day, or they make them, like, really hard. But that way you can get shards, and you can get, like, good loot for fighting hard battles. Maybe they could, I don't know, maybe they could add, even just, hell, even, like, a single more fishing Loomian, because it's really just 2 guys we can fish for, which is kind of eh. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they can add, like, a mini game for, like, Rally Ranch to speed it up, or, like, Pokemon and Me, where you can just, like, pet your Loomians and stuff. It's just, yes, I know this will take a lot more work, but it adds a lot more to the game, and that's the thing. Sometimes, I do think definitely now they should push out the next update. That I think is most important, but after that, I think maybe they should add one of these features, like maybe like you can surf around and do dungeon raids, or maybe you can pet your Loomians or decorate your Loomians or add competitive, because it adds so much more to the game. And by then, people, the casual fan base, which I do believe will definitely become competitive players if they're taught how to do it. So I think the PvP should be broadcasted more. If they taught how to do it and add competitive, that would definitely add more players, convert casual to competitive, and all that stuff. But once the casual fans are satisfied with the next route and update, they roll out competitive and they work on the next update. Now the PvP players are happy. Casual players become PvP players because now there's a reason to PvP, reason to actually build a PvP team, all that fun stuff. And the traders, hell, maybe, I don't know, maybe their PvP value Loomians increases, so maybe they'll focus more on PvP Loomians instead, to raise the value of those, and just prospers all communities. The casuals becoming more hardcore players, the casuals also having more things to do while they're waiting for updates. Traders, if their PvP values rising, because I do feel competitive will really add a lot more players. PvP players having a way to rank themselves against each other primarily, and also a way to like show off that's rank themselves, but also like a way to like know who to battle if they want to challenge. Just stuff like that, which I know isn't small stuff, it will take time to develop, but I think stuff like that, which isn't important to the story, adds so much more to the game. And that's why I think if I were the devs, what I would do now, honestly, which I have no idea of the analytics behind the scenes, all that kind of stuff, so I don't know what kind of data they got, but I would do finish the next route, Anthony City, right? I would then probably redo Sylvan City, and I wouldn't completely redo it. I would just add a lot of like texturing stuff to make it stand out more. I would then go ahead, work on the next route, or maybe work on competitive next route. Yeah, I mean, they've been working on this next update for over a year, so I hope it's really good. If it turns out being like Sylvan City, which Sylvan City is a pass because it's so early in the development cycle, then honestly, it's just a waste of time. But I do think with how long they spent, how well they've been making the last few cities, that it could definitely be good. It's just, it needs to be good to be worth the wait. But that's pretty much, oh gosh. That's pretty much all there is. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you check out our Discord. Check out our Twitter. We'll start linking that in videos. Pretty much just posting our Discord stuff, but maybe some Twitter exclusive stuff will come out eventually. Join our, I think I said Discord already, but yeah, join our Discord, and that's pretty much all. Peace.